Hey everybody, I wanted to take a little bit of time and just talk through your first Team Challenge 1 assignment. So for Friday, September 4th, you'll be reading about this first Team Challenge, and I just wanted to talk through it and explain a little bit more about what you're going to be doing. And of course, if you have questions, you can always email me or come by my office. So what I have pulled up here on the screen are the list of tasks that everyone is completing online for Friday, September 4th. So after you've read Chapter 4 in our novel Saints at the River, then I want you to read the Team Challenge 1 directions, and I want you to find out who your team members for the semester will be by looking at the Team Assignments document. Then, after you've done all that, you can go worry about the usual discussion board post. Don't forget about that too. So if you scroll down on the Brightspace page, you'll see here are the Team Challenge 1 directions. I have that open on my computer, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up so we can look at this together. So this first Team Challenge 1, remember all the team challenges are worth 750 points in the game, so a lot of points up for grabs here. It's due Friday, September 11th at 1:50, so you have a week to work on it with your team members. For this first challenge, you're collaborating with your teammates to explore how this novel, Saints at the River, relates to current issues happening in South Carolina and the nation today. So this project should have 3 parts. In part 1, list 3 to 4 current events happening in the local or national news that relate to an issue or question raised in Saints at the River. So for each event, you should summarize the context. That means just to give us the basic facts. Who was involved? What happened? When did it happen? Where did it happen? So you're going to do that in 1 paragraph for each event. So the section should be a total of 3 to 4 paragraphs, 1 paragraph per event. Now, section 2, scroll down a little bit here. In section 2, I want you to think about the wider issues, debates, questions, ethical problems, etc. that are involved in that event in at least 1 paragraph. So again, the section would be a total of 3 to 4 paragraphs because you're writing 1 paragraph for each event. So let me give you an example. I read in the news a couple weeks ago that President Trump and his administration are pushing to start drilling oil in some protected land in Alaska. So that makes me think, okay, there's a connection, obviously, with Saints at the River and the debate about protecting natural environments. So I could think about how this is a question of how we're supposed to balance protecting nature with drilling for oil and supplying a need for fossil fuels that our country might have. So I could get into some of the questions about that debate surrounding the news story of drilling for oil in Alaska. So that's what I want you to do in section 2. Just think about what are some of the bigger issues involved in that news event. Now, for the third section of this Team Challenge 1, for each event, I want you to explain how it relates to the events or issues in Saints at the River. You should cite at least 2 quotes from the novel, anywhere in chapters 1 through 6, to support your explanation. You should write at least 1 paragraph for each event. So again, section 3 also will have 3 to 4 paragraphs, 1 paragraph per event. So this is where you take that news story, that news event, and you look to specifically where it connects to moments in the novel, questions and issues that are raised in the novel, and quote from the story as evidence for your answers. Now, going on, how to divide the workload in your group is up to you, but everybody should have a fairly equal amount of work to do. It will require that you speak to each other as you brainstorm, develop ideas, write down your ideas, revise and proofread your project, and then submit it as 1 document. So, to collaborate, you have some different options. If everybody's on campus, you can meet outside and socially distance. You can use Microsoft Teams, which everybody has through their email. You can use Zoom or Google Chats or FaceTime, whatever you want to do so that you can see each other and speak to each other, whether it's in person or virtually, it's fine. But just make sure that everyone can connect and nobody's left out. Now, as you start working on this document that you're going to submit for Team Challenge 1, you can use OneDrive or Google Docs to share files, and you can work on them together at the same time virtually. Let me show you real quick. I'm going to go to my email. And in my email, what you'll see is in my email, I can go to the upper left corner, and I click on that cheeseburger, I think is the technical term for those dots. And if I go to OneDrive, I can open up my OneDrive and that will let me create a new file. I click on the New button. I'm going to start a new Word document to start typing up my project here. I open it up, and then I can start typing and I get some ideas going. And then what you should do is one person in your group should be in charge of starting the document and then sharing. So you click the Share button right here in the upper right corner of this OneDrive document. And then you can type in your team members' names or their email address right here, then send them a link to this document, and then once they have it in their email, they can all look at it and they can all start working on the same document. You can work on it at the same time, everybody can see it, and everybody can be involved. So that is what I would recommend that you do in your groups. Okay, going back to the directions here. Now, you should submit your project in paragraph form, typed in a Word document. Make sure you proofread, check for spelling and grammar errors. Your group, is going to receive 1 grade. Part 1, you can earn up to 150 points. I'm looking for detail and thoroughness. Part 2, up to 250 points. I'm looking for specific, insightful explanations of the larger issues involved in each event. Part 3, you can get up to 250 points based on your thoughtfulness of ideas and adequate support from quotes in the novel from chapters 1 through 6 to support those ideas. And then finally up to 100 points for grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, making sure that your document is professional, is proofread, and ready to go. So that is the directions sheet for Team Challenge 1. I'm going to go back to our Brightspace page and pull that up here. There we go. Okay, back to Friday, September 4th. After you read those directions on your own, then you can open up the Teams document. This tells you who your team members are going to be. So I'll pull that up real quick. So you'll be able to see your team members' names, and you're working in groups of, I think it's either 5 or 6 students. I've also given you their email addresses, so you can start by contacting each other through your email. Then if you want to exchange your cell phone numbers, and you can text each other if you prefer, you're more than welcome to do that, but at least this will allow you to initially reach out to your group members. If you have trouble getting in touch with anybody in your group, if they're not responding after a day or two, please let me know, and I will help you out with those situations. But just remember, this is a collaborative project. Everybody should be taking on an equal amount of work. How you want to divvy up that work is up to you guys. And you have 1 week to work on this project. So it's due September 11th at 1:50 p.m., the end of kind of what would have been our regular class time. Again, if you have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help you all out with this. I hope this is a fun assignment for you. I think it's a nice way to kind of show us how the novel Saints at the River connects to kind of what's going on in the real world today. All right, thanks everybody. More soon.